Hello, everyone. I'm Ryan Hodder, Athletic Director here at Mayville State. This morning I have with me Coach Hodder. Coach, appreciate you coming in, head women's basketball coach, and first of all, I just want to congratulate you on one heck of a season.
Thank you. Appreciate that very much.
It has been. It's been an awesome season. 22-5, 11-3, and that's where I want to start off with first. Is just kind of talking about that back-to-back regular season conference champions. I know that you and your staff and ladies put so much time and effort into it, and you reap the rewards from it. So, first thing, Coach, how gratifying is that? How excited are the ladies and you and your staff for another conference championship after just an outstanding season?
Well, I think they're very excited. I mean, obviously, it's quite an accomplishment when you can go through a season winning more games than you lose, let alone winning a lot more games than you lose. And we've been fortunate enough to win a lot more than we've lost. I think the kids are very excited. I believe there's an element of relief as well. There's quite a few lessons that I've learned over this year compared to last year, where we're kind of in the same situation. Last year we were picked fourth in the league, and we wound up winning the league, and everybody was excited and jacked up and obviously accomplished great things and thought that they'd overachieved. This year we were picked first to win the league, and we come in first, and it's a little bit more of they're excited and happy, but I think there's an element of relief because they finished where everybody thought that they were going to finish. So whoever coined the phrase "getting to the top is a lot easier than staying at the top" is very, very accurate. That's a few of the lessons along with a lot more that I've learned over this year. But I think that they are excited, and they should be. Anytime that you're able to check off the first box, which is a regular season conference championship, before you're moving into your tournament, your conference tournament, it is a good thing. And
absolutely,
we've been challenging the kids, especially the last 3 weeks, to step back a little bit and to take a break from the grind and to look around and observe what you're doing, and more importantly, observe who you're doing it with, because this is all going to go away in about a month.
Yeah.
And so we've been spending a lot of time in our meetings, taking a little bit of time to having some kids talk, having them just kind of, I know a couple players have written notes to other players as an opportunity to just kind of express how they feel about each other. And I'm like, you want to do it in the moment. You'll be able to do it when it's over, but then it's just going to be a memory. Where right now, when you're doing it in the moment, you're experiencing it as you're observing it and stepping back. So we spent the last few weeks kind of challenging them with that, and myself as well, being able to take a break from the grind and put away the film for a few minutes and just sit down and thank Andy and thank Joe and thank my wife and thank the players and everybody else that's helped us get to where we are, because I think it means a lot more when they get it in the moment than when they get it, after the season is over. So they are excited. They're excited for what they've accomplished. I think they're very excited for what lies ahead for them, and the opportunities that still await them. Like we said on Friday night, this was just box one of 3 that this team had that they wanted to check off, and so the second box is a conference tournament championship, which is next on the radar. So while they got the weekend to enjoy it, now it's getting back into the gym, and they've got some shooting to do today before we get on the floor at 4 o'clock and practice, getting ready for Wednesday and hopefully into Saturday, Sunday.
Awesome. And Coach, Friday was such a awesome evening, right? Just to send the seniors out with a solid victory over presentation, but then to be able to cut down the nets. How much have 9 seniors, and I've gotten to know a lot of your ladies pretty well, and just such great young student athletes. I mean, yes, on the court, right? We talk about it, but I can't say enough for them off the court. How nice was that to be in the Louis Lee, right, in front of your fans, to be able to cut down that net, and how much of those 9 seniors meant to the program?
Well, I think it was great that we had a chance to do that, because we were in the same boat last year, but unfortunately we had to win it on the road. So if we were to come back and do a net cutting ceremony, we would have been by ourselves in the gym. So, and I don't think Valley was going to let us do that. So it was very gratifying to a degree to be able to have that opportunity at home. What made it even more gratifying was that it was senior night, a night that we kind of set aside for the seniors of the program, the 9 seniors that we have who have dedicated the most time, the most commitment, the most summers, into the program, like we talk about in our program at least, that senior night is the seniors' night. It's their night.
Right.
The whole night is their night. It is all about them. We don't really get into that very much in our program, but for that night, it is all about them and their accomplishments and what they've meant to the program, the athletic department, and the university. And I think that that's 3 levels that people need to always understand is they're representing our program every night. We know that. They put on a uniform.
Right.
They're representing the athletic department every night. Most people know that because they know that women's basketball is an athletic event.
Right.
But they're also representing the university every time they step out there. And they do that in more ways than just on the floor. They do that in the classroom. They do that in the community. They do that by volunteering. There's a lot of different ways that they do that. And I think that's one of the things I get most proud of with this group is everybody sees the on-floor success that they've had. And this group has had a lot of them. I think they're, 41 and 19 the last 2 years in the NSAA just alone. Overall, in 22 and 6
right.
in the NSAA the last 2 years. Everybody sees all that. What they don't see is the 3.50 team GPA.
Right.
They don't see the service day commitments that they do around town. They don't see the Feed My Starving Children that they do.
I'll just chime in, everything they do with SAC is amazing as well.
And I don't think everybody sees that. And it's not important that everybody see that because it wouldn't be special if everybody saw it. But I think it needs to be known once in a while that those things do go on.
Absolutely.
Just within our program, we had 2 seniors that came into my office early last week and said, I'd like to give up my starting spot to allow another senior who hasn't started her entire career to start tonight so that she can have the experience that I've been experiencing the last 2 years.
That's awesome.
That's just a selfless service that we try to create in our program, and a lot of people don't see that, but that to me is what makes this group such a great group and how they've represented our program on such a high level. So yes, very gratifying. That's what they've meant to us. They've meant everything to us. They have done everything we've ever asked them to do. They've trusted the process. They've trusted me, even I'm sure at times when they were unsure if it was the right thing to do for whatever reason. I might be getting after them or asking them to do something that maybe they're not sure they can do.
Right.
But they've trusted the process. They've trusted the staff. They've trusted each other. And because of that, I think they're reaping the rewards of that right now.
Right. And Coach, you kind of, you alluded to it. I'm glad. And I'm sure if I were to guess, you did not take as much time as you probably should have, but I'm glad that you got to reflect back a little bit, whether it was a day or a few hours or whatever, because what you and your staff and your ladies been able to do, obviously this year, and I don't want to compare and contrast, but I said the social the other night. I'm pretty lucky with you and Coach Ty and your staffs and your players because the product that both of you have produced on and off the court has been nothing short of outstanding. And congratulations again just on another amazing season, another conference championship. And with that said, I know you're fired up. It's go time now, right? Wednesday night, first round of the North Star Conference Tournament. Coming off regular season conference championship, Waldorf at 7 o'clock at Wednesday at the Louis Lee. We ask all of you to please come out and support Coach Hutter's staff and his great team for 7 o'clock tip-off Wednesday night. So the men Tuesday night, 7 o'clock, the women Wednesday night, 7 o'clock, and then if all goes well, then we're Saturday, Sunday in Watertown, South Dakota for the conference semifinals and hopefully championship. And Coach, as we know, right, it is go time, right, and it's conference tournament time, and throw away all the records. Everybody has an equal shot and the same goals of being conference champions. What's it going to take? And I don't want to look ahead, starting Wednesday, but to make a run starting in little more than 48 hours. What's it going to take? What are going to be the keys to success? And I know you would never look ahead, but starting Wednesday, what can we expect? What do we need to hopefully be fortunate enough to cut down the nets at the end of the week, starting this Wednesday?
Well, we're certainly in survive in advance mode. I mean,
right.
That's where we are now. You want to survive in advance, and I think we have to play a little bit better than the way we've been playing.
Okay.
Number one thing, if you've ever talked to me and anybody's talked to me, is we got to defend better. We need to defend at a level that we were defending at all the way up until maybe early February. So we got to get back to that defensive mentality, making it tough for teams to score, being a great rebounding team. When you get to this time of year, every player knows every player, every coach knows every coach, and every team basically knows every team. So the little things start to get magnified. Things like rebounding, taking care of the basketball, you know, all the sets and plays and things that you try to do defensively are all things that the other coach knows about. So we talk to the kids a lot about the little things, you know, the fundamental habits that we've been trying to drill into them day in and day out, you know, week in and week out over the course of the last year, now in my opinion really come into play. Yes, there's scouts and things like that, but the little things really come into play right now. So, you know, the mental approach, knowing the scouting report, a little thing like that. Who am I guarding and what can she do? You know, who are we playing and what can they do? Are things that we really try to work hard on. So while there's an element of who you're playing, there's a lot of element on yourself. You know, what do we have to do to get better? So, you know, and unfortunately, sometimes at this time of year, it's not always the best team that moves on. It's a team that's playing the best. You know, it's not always the best team. Sometimes it's just a team that's playing really, really well and gets into a groove. I think our men did that Coach Ty's first year. I think they were the 5 seed going to the conference tournament. They were playing well, and they won 3 games all on the road. And wound up going to the national tournament. So a situation like that. So we tell the kids, you know, don't take anything for granted. A regular season conference championship is just that, a regular season conference championship. If you're still talking about what you did yesterday, you haven't done anything today. So we're really working on now what's next. Well, it's a conference tournament, hopefully championship, and that starts on Wednesday with Waldorf, who we certainly are not going to overlook. You know, we went down there and played about 2 weeks ago, and they battled really hard and competed, and you know, they're a little short-staffed with some injuries and some things like that, but they play really hard. They're going to compete, and I'm sure they would love nothing more than they come up here and knock us off on our home floor, so we're going to have our hands full.
And Coach, one other thing I want to mention is, you know, you ladies have been an absolute constant in the top 25 this year, you know, and climbing pretty high. But staying in that top 25, how much do your ladies look at that? I know it doesn't play a factor, you know, we already said throughout the records, it's go time, everybody's got equal chance, but that recognition is huge for your program and a testament to being recognized, how well you've been doing. So, you know, how much has that impacted the ladies, I'd say, as far as knowing that you obviously want to hunt, but also the hunted, right? You know, is that in the minds at all as you enter conference play, or is that thrown away?
It's not in my mind. I mean, it's we don't talk about it a lot with our kids. I mean, when the poll comes out, and there's enough crap that's publicized to let them know where they're sitting. So we don't really talk about that too much. You know, you can look at it as a positive, and it is a positive. I mean, it's absolutely great to be recognized by your peers nationally as maybe one of the top 25 teams in the country, and that's quite an honor, and it's great for the kids. But you know, again, with all these kind of lessons that I've learned over the year, this is another one. It's if you're lucky enough to have a number in front of your name, then you better understand that you're going to get everybody's best effort every night out, home or away. And our kids have realized, especially the second half of this year, that you can make somebody's season if they can knock you off. You know, you play poorly and lose, and you have a lot to lose. A team that maybe is 500 plays poorly and loses not nearly as much. So there can be more of a target, and it's a little bit more mentally challenging for them to understand that you need to get up every single night to play, because every team you're playing is getting up to play you. That's why it's so impressive. You know, the Dukes of the world, and you know, the North Carolinas of the world, and the UConns on the women's side of the world. How those teams can stay up there consistently, because you know that any team would love to knock them off, and it would make their year. So that's a valuable lesson that I've learned this year, is that you need to stay mentally engaged the entire night, and you have to bring energy every night out, because every team that's playing you is just saying, if we just bring it tonight, and you have to bring it every night. So,
well, you kind of alluded to it earlier when you said getting to the top's hard, staying there is harder, right?
Absolutely.
So, well, that's awesome. Coach, I know you're fired up. I want to thank you for taking the time. Is there anything else you want to tell the Comet faithful and supporters of your basketball program as you start the stretch, right? Most exciting time of the year, you work, from summer all the way for the culmination of this. And I know it's pressure filled, but it's exciting, and I know that ladies are going to be ready to rock and roll. Is there anything you want to share before we wrap up today?
Yeah, I mean, this has been a great year, and we appreciate all the support that we've received, like I've said numerous times, from the CAC to the university to the community to parents to everybody, students that come out to watch us play and support us. We really appreciate that very much. And, this is the last time that these 9 kids will play on this floor. This is the last game that they'll play here. I mean, unfortunately, if we're able to survive in advance, we won't be playing here anymore. So there would be a great opportunity to send these 9 off who I feel like have given so much blood, sweat, tears to, like I said, our program, this athletic department, and the university. Mm-hmm. If they could go out with an unbelievably great crowd and unbelievable support on Wednesday, with it being their last opportunity to play together on this home floor. So I'm hoping that we can get a lot of people to come out and watch them play and cheer them on, as well as coming out Tuesday to watch the men play. And the game is going to be a great 24-hour stretch from the men's game on Tuesday to our game on Wednesday. And it's what makes Mayville State, in my opinion, so special.
Absolutely.
Is the support that I know we're going to get on Tuesday and Wednesday.
7 o'clock, Louis Lee Tuesday men's game against Dakota State. Wednesday, 7 o'clock, women's game in the Louis Lee. First round of the conference tournament, and hopefully we'll have both teams in Watertown this weekend competing for a conference championship. Coach, again, congratulations on a great season. I hope you continue to roll for a while, for you, your staff, and all your ladies. And good luck Wednesday night.
Appreciate that. Thank you.